Hey, welcome to Podcast. I'm Mike Nider from Centerchan, Centerfest, Piss Poor Productions, and many other things. Today we're going to be discussing ourselves. Little egomania, little self-pleasure, a little ego stroking.
Get it in there.
To my right.
Jeremy Borden, Psychosomatic Films.
Jeremy Allen, Dark Art Film.
Josh Hartwell, Evox Films.
Well, let's get into it. What are you working on right now, Jeremy?
Well, at the moment, editing the experimental that you guys were all gracious enough to make it happen. It was awesome.
You're welcome.
I'm actually looking at the set over beyond the cameras now, but I'm pretty giddy about it. It's getting close to ending.
Giddy.
And, that's about it.
So you're wrapping up on the experimental.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and then the couple comic fan films. I'll get to those at some point.
And then you're also doing music right now?
Yeah, we're doing. We got the band back together. It was pretty interesting. But
It was like the Eagles.
Yeah.
Hell froze over.
We've done. All of us have done several. The whole, well, not the whole gamut, but a lot of it, and kind of started with music, and now kind of did the film thing, and kind of coming back to the music thing, and wanting to do some music videos.
He evolved.
Yes.
He evolved, baby.
Jeremy Allen, what do you got going on?
Right now, I just finished filming one called Herbert and Mabel Get a Prostitute, which you played Herbert. Josh, to my right, played a pimp named Wasabi. Wasabi.
Before you go a little further, what's the name of the company you do? You said Dark Art Photo
Art
and
Films.
Film, or just what film?
Just films.
Smut films
Not
only.
doing any photography.
I'm not really doing much photography these days.
All right, is that all you're working on? Is the Herbert and Mabel Get a Prostitute?
Well, I've got that one I'm editing right now, and then I've got one called Capitulate. I'm looking to set up the film, and I'm writing another one, which is as yet untitled.
All right.
So,
What you got going on, Josh?
Well, just finished with writing of RTK2, and I'm actually excited about freaking making this public and not
what is
keeping it to
RTK?
myself. And
It's an android in Star Wars.
well, yeah, it's like a sex robot. No, I'm just joking.
What's TK stand for?
Okay.
Rules to Kill 2 is it's a demented way of thinking when you are in the mindset of killing. So to me, it's really gruesome, and I want a lot of blood. Last time I did RTK, if you guys don't know, I had no blood, so I'm doing opposite everything I did here, and that's what I'm working. Oh, I'm writing all that, and it's not in production at all, even nearing production. So, but I look forward to conquering that beast.
And you're doing music with Jeremy as well? Right?
Yeah, I'm doing music. I'm the so-called singer for a band that Jeremy is fucking formed, like always. He always.
Play-Doh.
Yeah, right.
Not the philosopher.
Yeah. The maker of.
Play-Doh.
But yeah, I'm doing music and got a badass bass player and a badass freaking drummer.
Shout out Seth and Box.
Yeah, Seth and Box. Dude, I'm telling you, these guys are badass, and we're just doing some funky. Everything is. Everything is our genre right now. We can do anything and everything, and that's why we like doing music.
Well, currently I'm working on Herbert and Mabel Get a Prostitute with Jeremy here. Also was in the experimental with Jeremy here.
Excellent job.
Been talking to Josh about RTK too. And actually in the works, some of the guys have been talking about my old band Slaves of Shiva wanting to do a reunion show at some point. So we're kind of
Make it
cooking on that
happen.
idea. And there's been a lot of talk about maybe another Centerfest cooking up. Just
Oh shit!
That happened
so.
too.
been a lot of
Amen.
requests about it, so
Amen.
now it's
I
got me
can't wait to
thinking.
send.
And I might have possibly found at least a good because we're going to have to start small again. You know, it's been a few years.
An
So,
intimate.
You're killing me, Smalls.
well, I got a venue that I think would be a great test venue to try it out
Nice.
again and see what kind of response it gets.
What's the venue? Or can you say? Or
Well, I'm not
Yeah,
going to broadcast it
right,
here
right,
yet.
right. It's
Stay tuned.
it's DL and a low key.
But it's a good location. It's got a few rooms, good stage, good sound. I think it could work there. I really do. But when we come back, let's find out how we got to here, which is nowhere.
I took a left on Samson.
The road to nowhere, Pottycast. We'll be right back.
Meet Herbert
Hey, honeybee.
Hello, dear.
and Mabel. They're just your average boring couple that do boring things like this.
Come on, give me a whiff there, baby.
Oh, smells lovely, dear.
And this. And this. That is, until they decided to get a prostitute.
Miss Mama,
Call me Sugar Sweetie.
Miss Sugar, we would like to get one to go, carry out, if you will.
This is a brothel, not a drive-through or a carry-out.
Darn it to hell!
Language.
I'm sorry.
Would you like one of Herbert's business cards?
Y'all need to leave right now.
Then, with the help of an old spell and the Dark Lord Satan, things get interesting.
Oh, Herbert, I don't think I'm saying this right.
Oh, I'm sure Satan knows Latin's not your native tongue. He'd be a pretty lenient guy, I would think.
And life isn't as boring as it used to be. Herbert and Mabel get a prostitute. Halloween 2017.
Little tiny people would admire you, and you'd get many, many pencils. And this time, you get the big desk.
Hey, welcome back to Pottycast. Let's continue. So, Jeremy, how'd you get from Baby Jeremy to Psychosomatic Films?
That was a long, stressful journey for everyone but me. But yeah, I mean, we'll basically end with the band thing kind of coming to a point where we started recording with the Handycam that I had back in the day now. And at the same time, I just got a new computer, the XPS 420, and I was able to download the video from the Handycam and bring it up on a timeline editor and be able to cut and paste it. And we first started doing it to record songs and figure out what we're doing, but then you just realize you could tell a story, all that. So we started filming, as bands do, comedic little enterprises. But then we did a serious one with it, and we ended up liking it, The Legend of Jacob Kane. And after that, we moved on to going on to Sexy Kittens Love Flesh, and that's when I heard from you and went to Centerfest, and here we are. And I just said "and" like 50 times.
A bunch of times.
Now, the kids don't understand how awesome it is moving into the digital age, what doing filming,
Yes. Yep.
how hard it was before. And so, yeah, I think that turned a lot of people into
Well, we
filmmakers.
did that psychosocial film that had the little tiny cassettes, the XL1S. Hey, there you go. Big shout out to Canon.
Now Jason is in Hollywood doing
Yeah,
freaking
but I mean, we
TV
had
shows.
when you download a computer, it's funny, like you had the phonographs and all that before, but now you had to let that thing play and download, and you're just waiting. So, but yeah,
right.
digital's amazing, and price is awesome, and
Right?
yes.
So much easier. Now, so you and Josh, you had a band, get a handy cam, you start fucking around with the band videos, and you think, hey, let's start filming some shit. So you do,
Yeah, we do the Jacob Kane
Legend
thing.
of Jacob
then we moved
Kane.
into the Sexy Kittens Love Flesh and started going quote unquote public, kind of, the internet public or whatever with
Right.
that. But when we did that, that's when we heard from you and hearing from the Centerfest, and just going there the first time, being invited to something like that, first of all, told us we're not alone. And
right.
in this endeavor.
We're not weird
And then
alone.
we go there, and like I said, I drove around the place a couple times. Like, I don't know, this seems weird. Some dude gets a hold of me on the internet. Wants to meet him at the bar.
He was afraid of getting raped.
I walked in the door, and I will say, big shout out to Carla Warner. As soon as I walked in the door, she was nice and she just had the makeup and everything going on, and a big stabby chest wound. I was like, for some reason, I feel like I'm home here. And then met you, and then went.
From there.
Gave me the tour and everything, and here we are.
Carla was key in helping set up Center
Yes,
Fest. Her and
huge
Big shout outs to Carla
all
Warner.
kinds of people that really helped set that up. So Jeremy, let's get to your story now. So how'd you get to little long-haired baby Jeremy
Prostitution.
to Dark Heart Film?
Well, when I was younger, I had a mullet. I
Oh.
wish I could.
Obviously.
Business
Obviously. We knew you had a mullet before you said it. You had a mullet.
Were you born in Kentucky?
Let's
St.
move on.
Tennessee.
Let's move on. Yeah. Let's move on.
What happened? You brought an achy breaky camera and then no,
Don't
you
tell
started
us
out
hard.
in music, right? It's the same as Jeremy here.
Yeah, I was playing music, had a kid, decided that I wanted to be a dad more than playing guitar, so I sold all my gear, picked up a camera as a creative outlet because I found that once I quit playing music, I still needed to get my creative juices out.
Right.
And
Juices.
Backed up.
I think everybody at this table and anybody out there watching
We
with
are
a creative
backed up
mind
juices.
can understand creative juices do need to flow.
once you're cleaning the pipes.
Make your balls burst.
Not in the face.
So you get a camera, you started doing what?
Yeah, I started doing photography. I taught myself photography. Then I got into doing modeling photography and then horror photography. I'm saying as many ums as you
I don't
said.
know, but I was really hoping you were not going to say photography after you said.
Yeah, right. Hey, whatever it is,
And I got into modeling.
whatever it is, don't say photography again. We know what you do.
Anybody have a large fan?
Yeah, we know what you do.
Okay.
It's in the name.
So you started taking, doing the photography and all that, and then what happens? How you get to film?
Actually, Centerfest.
Me.
No, it wasn't you.
Me.
It wasn't you. I'm telling you, it wasn't you. It was him. I was at Centerfest, and we were sitting out on the patio about to get pizza. And Jeremy here was like, yeah, I'm working on a film. And I was like, holy shit, people like make movies? Like, this isn't just Hollywood. People fucking make movies.
Right.
And I was all excited, and I was like, on the inside, but the outside, I'm trying to play it cool. Like, yeah, that's awesome.
But
That's
your
awesome.
nipples were hard.
Dude, I was fucking
Right,
rock hard.
yeah, Dad, cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. And he's like, you want to come do some lighting on this movie? I'm doing Sexy Kitten's Love Flesh. And I was like, yeah, but inside I'm like, fucking A. Dude, oh, this is awesome. You know, I was really freaking out, and then get the invite and then go to where he's filming. It's in some dude's basement.
I remember that.
I walked down there. Yeah, there's this like big flag on one wall, this checkerboard, and all these women dressed up as kittens, and I'm like, it's the greatest shit ever. This is fucking awesome. You know, it's like, you know, the gates of heaven opened up and the lights were shining down in this basement, and
And I get to film it.
yeah.
And then, so what point did you decide, I think I'm going to just do film, not so much photography?
Well, I kind of was getting burnt. I was doing so much photography, I kind of burnt myself out. And film, like I could come up with an idea for a photo, go out and shoot it, then I'm done.
All right.
Then I got to come up with another idea. With the film, I could come up with an idea, take weeks or a month or two to write it. You know, it's a much longer process, and it's much more fulfilling than just idea, shoot it, edit, post, try it again.
All right.
So the film I'm finding much more enjoyment in.
And you know, on what he's saying, that's one thing I love about the film thing is the group thing. Like such a team, because you know, when you're writing and stuff, I mean, it depends on who you are. You write on your own or whatever and edit all that. But it's the day of filming and the pre-production and just working with a group of people that are awesome. I mean, anybody doing this has got to be kind of awesome.
And as a director, you control the atmosphere. If you really think about it, and that's what I try to do when I did RTK.
Make it 72 degrees.
Well, my point is that you kind of give them direction in some way of your tone and who you are and how you are.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that kind of it's just an equation in the variable, and when it comes to movie making.
And that's beautiful, honestly, to be able to, so like, being a writer director or whatever, but what you're saying as a director, to find people who want to act and to do that and everything, and it kind of catches you off guard that wow.
I know people want to do this,
right? And then to be the writer director or whatever, and then to have somebody come in and you write it and you direct it and stuff, and then they do it, and first of all, they do it.
They understand
where you imagine it, but
they understand it
beyond that.
Yes.
And you're just like,
it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It's humbling.
Yes.
Then somebody if I write something, somebody is going to actually take the time to learn it,
Right.
show up to the set, and say it probably 10 times for takes. It's like, holy shit, it's an amazing thing.
I apologize for my lack of learning of your lines. The last Herbert and friggin' Mabel get a prostitute. I was trying to make up for something, but I could not remember the lines.
It was awesome.
You did fantastic.
I was down like
real
this, trying not to laugh.
Real quick, I met a lot of talented people doing this with you guys and filming and stuff, and it's amazing how many people out there are actually involved in doing this stuff and want to do this stuff.
Yep.
When we come back, we're gonna get Josh's story, and
we
find
got to
out-
hear about Humphreys at some point.
Oh,
We'll hear
for
about
sure,
Humphreys.
for
We'll
sure,
hear about
for sure.
Humphreys. We'll be right back. Bodycast. Jang Jin, you stole the golden dong, our most prized possession at the Kung Fu School.
I'm strong as fuck, bro.
You bastard! We'll kill you! You don't scare me, you bastard!
Fuck.
I fuck you up, bro. The gold dog belongs in the annals of my family. You'll have to kill me. Hey! Hoo! Hip! Ah, hit! Hey! Huh? Kill you. That's pretty good, but not good enough. Now, how do you like that? Now, give me your dog. Never! The golden dome remained inside my family and my students. G.I.
Hey, welcome back to Bodycast. So, Josh, let's get into it. Evox Media, how did it come about?
My daughters, actually, I had two daughters, Evie and Roxy, and I was thinking about a fucking name and how it can incorporate my video skills to something that was so personal to me, and Evox came about. So, and that's where it all came from, and the inspiration still lives today. And because you know why? Because they're getting older, and so am I, and it's awesome.
So your story intertwines with Jeremy's, obviously.
Obviously.
You know, the whole band thing, handy cam, blah, blah, blah. So at what point...
We were blowing each other back in the day.
So at what point did you
66.
say... Did you say...
69.
Hey, I'm gonna start Evox, as opposed to just...
That was actually a controversial move a little bit because it was. I remember being honest, totally honest, 100%. Borden was mad at me because I was trying to make money for my family and like you know what I mean, whatever happened with this.
And I was so pissed about that.
Yeah, you were so pissed about that. And but the whole thing is that it was the whole grandeur of the idea. You know what I mean? Is that it was the whole spectrum of things. It was not just one thing. It was all of it. So that's why I felt impelled and conveyed to do those things.
Well, I can see both your sides too, and none of you are wrong, and none of you are right as far as the controversial thing.
Did you hear that, Josh?
I still love you, Borden. I still love you. I still love you to death.
You are not the father.
Yeah. God damn it.
It's just like a band. Sometimes they get mad when somebody goes off.
Oh yeah, brothers love,
I
brothers
have
hate.
never heard of bands fighting.
Yeah. Brothers love, brothers hate. That's all I gotta say.
Right. I mean, you get a vision of something, and you want to shoot for that goal, and then all of a sudden there's a branch that comes off, and it kind of shakes.
But now I'm single, so that's different.
I think it all worked out for you guys. I mean,
yeah, for
you've
sure.
made some pretty cool stuff with Evox Media.
It's great.
Rules to Kill.
Yeah.
And you're doing Rules to Kill 2 soon.
That's fucking. I'm telling you.
You were doing MMA fights, right? You were recording them.
Yeah, I did MMA fighting. I made $1,200 a fucking week. That was awesome.
Is that how you pronounce that? I always thought it was Ma.
Ma.
Tonight on Ma Fighting.
But I worked on the Clippers Stadium. I used to be the camera guy for Clippers Stadium. I used to work at QFM. I understudied with Joe Show. Rest in peace, Joe Show. Drive Time. So, but yeah, I've freaking done a lot of things. Nationwide with the Blue Jackets. Kind of filmed some of those shit, but so.
And you actually I think you're one of the few here that actually went to school for film.
Went to film school. It was actually shitty. And
Don't get me started.
I'm just saying though, I paid like a lot of money for doing nothing pretty much and teaching my people or people around me and my teachers that don't know shit.
But it looks good on a resume.
Yeah, it does.
If you're pursuing a film career, I mean.
It did until that statement.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying though, it was horrible. It was horrible.
What about you, man?
Well, let's get into it.
Let's hear a little
Mike.
bit about Mr. Niter.
All right. Well, actually, I mean, I started filming probably when in 5th grade when my buddy got a video camera and we thought, let's make some kung fu movies.
I was filmed in 5th grade.
Well, we started making kung fu movies because my man right there. So we thought, he got a camera like, let's make a kung fu movie. So we started making kung fu movies and stuff and screwed around. So then later on, my girlfriend bought me a camera when I was in like high school. So me and some buddies started, we started making movies, stupid action movies. And then I got a job in radio, started working at Z-Rock 103.1. And we started making like just weird production stuff, commercials and stuff, and with the camera and in the studio, and we kind of mixed them up and blah, blah, blah. So from there, me and the buddies just started drinking and making stupid movies. Then I started doing music and stuff. Actually, I went into music at a late age compared to most people. And so I started doing music, did a kung fu band called Five Hand Gang, and then I did...
Kung Fu Band.
I'm serious, it's pretty bad.
I did a Kung Fu Band, one of my favorite sentences ever.
Right?
Well, every song is about kung fu stuff.
And
then,
it was a band.
Then I did Slaves of Shiva, and started doing Centerfest, which is where I met all you guys. And the whole idea just came really just, how awesome would it be to get just all these different art forms into a room and see if they network. Maybe filmmakers could use some of the band's music.
I concur.
Maybe artists may want to, who knows.
Well, I think it was a great idea. And plus, what that opened up for me is... I travel.
We don't want to know, Borden. We don't want to know.
Columbus, kind of, you hear Hollywood and New York and, these certain areas and stuff. It opened up for me that Columbus is actually vibrant, artistic scene, Yeah, so that I thought was awesome. So,
and I had no idea how creative Columbus is until I started doing Centerfest and started getting my hands dirty in other,
your feelers out. Your feelers.
Everything from art to music to burlesque, fashion.
Yep.
I mean, all this stuff, all put in one room.
Just creative people.
Makeup artists.
And that's great.
2 of them from Centerfest went on to Face Off. Tommy and Kelly. They both went on to Face Off.
And midges.
And then, I mean, Cinefest was great. And yes, I would like to throw another one down the road.
Yes, bring it
Hopefully-
back.
I would
And
love to
midgets.
see another
Cinefest.
Cinefest.
There's been a lot of talk. We might be heading in that
I
direction.
sin and I like fests.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Cinefest is Synergy Festival. So it's bringing
just
all the different art
ruined it
forms
then.
together in one room.
It's
And,
energy. It's
I thought it
energy.
was sin
Yeah.
or fest.
well, it does. It is that, but with a
I
dark
fest all night long and I sin.
Very clever. Very clever, Danielson.
So that's how Cinefest came about and the idea of it. And to this day, people who have met at Cinefest are working together. I mean, like us.
No,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
There's
And that networking thing, I mean, you can network, on the internet, which is a good place to network. And everything. But there's nothing like doing, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
So it's just.
I
the
paid
actual-
$65,000 to fucking network for a college education. So fuck off.
Let me tell you how I met these guys. All right, so Jeremy. Well, I'm gonna start with Jeremy. I threw the first Cinefest. It was a test one at a small
Gas
venue.
station in Dayton.
Lady Jessica Cameron. This lady Jessica Cameron, she was vice president of the Mid Ohio Film Association. So I thought that'd be a great place to find filmmakers. So I talked to her. She shoots me over to these guys' website. I email him and say, "Hey, come on up to Cinefest." What happens? You show up.
Tap me on the foot from the other stall. It's like, I don't know, man. No, but yeah, the first one, right? When, just walking in, seeing where everybody's being creative and everything, and the fact that there's such a vibrant community here in Columbus and everything, or Columbus area, because we're not in Columbus right now, but we are darn close. We are in Central.
We are from Columbus, OH.
Ohio.
Oh no.
Oh no.
All right, so he comes into Cinefest. We start talking. He's talking about his movies, blah blah blah. I end up being in one of your movies, Psychosocial.
Many, but yes.
And I think that's where I met you, on Psychosocial.
I asked you to be in my film.
And then you asked me to be in Rule to Kill. And then we threw a second Cinefest all together. You guys were part of that.
Oh, yeah,
second
that's right. We
Cinefest.
did. Yeah.
So we need another actor.
I don't remember things so good, but it's all coming together.
Boiling down to the point.
You guys helped me put together probably what some would say is the best one, the second one.
Which one? Which one was that?
A&R bar in the basement.
Yeah, we did good.
Well, we did great.
We did good. We did good.
And for that one, that's where I met Jeremy Allen. He came to be the photographer.
He was creeping around.
Budweiser wanted us to do a photography and put together a poster. And my friend invited him out,
Your hair's so
knowing his
soft.
skill level,
It's clean.
while they finger bang each other over there. But he came out and, by the goodness of his heart, decided to take pictures for us. His goodness of his dark heart.
Yes. From the darkness of his heart.
So when we come back, we'll talk more about influences and whatnot, and just kind of ramble a little bit more about ourselves. Join us. Stick around on Podcast. Not scary enough. Too cliche. Perfect. Perfect.
I do the killing around here.
Oh, God! God damn it. Still counts. That was close.
So, think it's funny, do you?
You're fucking worthless! You're not even good enough to be a slut at Waffle Hut! You're trailer park trash! I wouldn't wipe my ass with your face!
Are you gonna get out of bed today?
No, I don't think so. Give me all your money.
Allow me to get my billfold, please. Alright, welcome back. So let me just say this. Anybody watching this, whether you're in middle school or you're retired, go ahead and pick up a camera
if you're in middle school.
Probably shouldn't be, you're right. But go ahead and pick up a camera if that's something you want to do. Get into music, do whatever you want to do. You know, don't let anybody stop you. Like, now that I'm doing film series and stuff, like, I watch a lot of filmmakers. Like, one of my favorite influences is this man right here, John Carpenter.
John Carpenter.
John Carpenter, when I watch his movies, I've learned a lot of techniques just by watching his movies with filming and stuff. Like, is there people that you maybe picked up on watching their movies? You thought, oh man, that'd be kind of cool to do, or?
Yeah, but as you're influencing youngsters and everything, but I would say like take the behind the scenes. If you can buy the DVDs and stuff and actually see the behind the scenes and stuff, it's amazing what you learn just by watching, obviously, what they're doing and everything. As far as oh my God, John Carpenter, definitely for sure. I'm a big fan of the early camera stuff. Metropolis and Faust from the early days, much earlier than that.
H.G. Wells.
Nosferatu. That's one you can just keep going back to, right. And it was just and to see what they did at the beginning, right? And then to move on from there. Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, huge fan of that.
It is neat to watch the evolution of film. Like, watching those old ones and the new ones, it's just crazy.
And it tells a lot about society and technology, and I mean,
one of the first films that was filmed in like 1919 or 1917 or whatever it was, it had a train coming to the audience, and the audience scrambled because they had never seen anything like it, because they thought that a train was coming towards them.
Yeah,
so
a couple of French.
That was, I mean, think about it. It's so rudimentary. I mean, when you think about it, but today it's like, what? Why are they doing that? But
cue the Jeopardy music. Anybody know what the first movie was?
I know.
1901. 1901.
Are you talking to Man in the Moon or the Maillet?
I have no idea. That's why I cue Jeopardy music.
Ah, well, that would be my guess. The first one that's considered.
I think Edison has
like
the first movie.
I think footage is like horses running.
I think Edison has the credit.
A picture and you'd spin around on circles and all that. But I know the George Millet from the very early French, and he is like an inspiration. Oh my God, he's like an inspiration to me because of
Jean
he would
Bonnet.
just build things and would film them for no particular reason, more or less, but just for the look, because it was early film, right? There's nothing to influence him other than the flash photography. But even that was only 10, 15 years old at that point.
So let me ask you, Jeremy, what now that you've gone from photo to film, now when you're watching movies, is there anybody like in particular you watch and you're like, I could probably do something like that, or I like the way that's shot, or
John Carpenter, he's just
John
amazing.
Carpenter.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Go, Johnny.
Exactly. Other than that, Rod Serling is a huge influence.
Yeah,
I love
there you go.
the old Twilight Zones. It's
Make me
amazing.
weep. Beautiful.
What about you, Josh? Anybody like that you're just amazed by?
There's a lot of new guys coming out. So like Beyond the Black Rainbow is one of the best movies I've ever seen to date, because it's so Stanley Kubrick, and that's where I draw most of my stuff from. But Beyond the Black Rainbow is just one of those acid trips that you were just on, and it feels so right. It feels so, and it's the perfect movie because it gives you everything you need to make a perfect movie.
The first time I saw it, there's every once in a while. So
he was confused. He thought it was from the 80s.
Or whatever,
it was brand new.
Become more critical.
It was brand new.
I would, what have you. So some films you start watching, you're like, ugh. You're just done for a minute. Some films, like, I just want to disappear and just go somewhere. Beyond the Black Rainbow is one of those films that as soon as I started watching, I was like, what?
I can't stop watching this.
Like, it just, and I couldn't stop. And the one thing I love about Beyond, that is one film I would love to say I directed.
Right.
Like, there's other movies that I've seen where, obviously Spielberg, but it's like I would not shoot it that way, but it's beautiful and all that stuff. When I saw Beyond, there's almost nothing I would change. It was just like, I loved it.
It was perfect. It was perfect.
Are you talking to me?
There's two shows on TV right now, and I think most of us will agree on them. That
Legion.
Legion
One of
is Legion is the
Legion's
best
amazing.
show on TV right now.
But I watch and the whole like film technique in it and everything is just
The
like
colors,
yeah, the
the
colors,
framing of the
And
shots.
speaking of the
it's
Kubrick
fucking-
and everything with
very very Kubrickish. And Preacher is another one that they
Preacher's
do a
good.
lot of cool stuff.
Preacher's good. Preacher's good.
Preacher's great.
I swear to God, you remind me of that guy, the landowner. Or, who's that guy?
all the light and power.
Yeah, light and power guy.
Well, some might say I'm the son of Steve Buscemi and Clint Howard.
I don't know, but speaking of which, that guy
I can't argue with that.
is the terror on the Tick, and I am so glad they're bringing it. I think they did the Tick beautifully, but yeah, I'm not gonna go on. It's not an influence on film, but yeah, cool.
Well, just to give some shout out to other directors. I mean, you know, John Carpenter obviously is popular in here. Stanley Kubrick. Is there like any? Who's the like?
Federico Fellini. I'm telling you.
Neil Blomkamp. I would throw Neil when I saw District 9, which is probably the first one I saw. As soon, that's another one.
Most modern.
That
most
I
modern,
would say that
most
I
modern.
wouldn't change. I mean, I love it wasn't humanoid aliens. They look good, right? They were like crickets.
Well, it was
or
thought
whatever
out.
they
It was
were.
very thought out.
Yeah, and the weapons were so video gamey.
So awesome.
I mean, just
Yeah,
so
yeah.
amazing. And
Well, no,
just,
think about
great,
the
dude.
same
I
guy
was
did
really
what was that Johnny movie where he went POV the whole movie.
Oh,
Yeah, so I'm saying
Hardcore
like
Henry.
Hardcore Henry. That's what it is. And the whole point is that freaking he's pushing the envelope of what we know of cinema, and that is cool with me. So I agree with Borden on this.
Yeah, I think Blomkamp is a guy to keep
yeah,
an eye
dude,
on. And he
fucking
was talking
great
about
guy.
directing an Iron Man, and I think if he did that, because
Amazing.
of the way he does technology with video, that would be ridiculous.
I like the Soska sisters too. They do some pretty cool.
Yes.
Now, what do you guys think of this? I just read a story
Or,
today.
wait a minute. I thought
Suck.
Bukowski for a second. Never mind. I did not hear that.
I'm a
your
comic book
face?
nerd, so a lot of stuff comes back to comic books. But I just read comic books. But I just read today that Matthew Vaughn may direct the next Superman. Do you know who Matthew Vaughn is?
Yeah, the Kingsman director.
Kingsman,
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
I just read
And
that
that-
article today that he's in the talks.
Yeah.
To.
I'd be definitely down. I'd be
Yeah.
okay with that.
So, what would you guys tell somebody that's out there just right now, like, hey, you know, I kind of want to do film, I kind of want to do music, I kind of want to do photography, but I don't know where to start.
I spent a lot of money on film school, and all you got to do is watch movies and think.
YouTube University.
There we
I'm telling you, you go to YouTube and just get the DIYs and the tutorials. And
Well, if you want to do
that's how I learned how
effects,
to do After Effects and-
effects wise, but if you want to be good at filmmaking, watch movies and learn. And learn as much as you can, and what you think is not appropriate, and what you would change. And guess what? That will make you a filmmaker, no matter what.
Well, I'll tell you right
Plus-
now. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Plus, it's playing. Get a camera, get whatever, and
Yeah,
let it play,
exactly,
and realize you're going to
exactly.
suck for a while.
Yep.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say myself. And I was going to say, these little bastards right here, your phones, actually have cameras good enough
And
to
you can
make
even
a
edit
simple
stuff
film.
on them. Yeah.
Right? You can edit on them now. This little thing in our pocket, you can make a movie with.
But there's
take-
quality that comes down to it, though. I mean,
But
Well,
Take it-
start on those, but don't
yeah,
stay on
exactly,
them,
exactly,
you know?
exactly.
But the one
To
thing,
learn.
and this is what, if you're passionate about it, time will tell.
Right.
It will literally tell. I mean, at first it may suck and it may be pain in the rear end or something, but if you do it for a long time, then after a while you're beaten down enough that you know that you love the art form so much that it doesn't matter, and it's about
You're sticking with it.
It's about
You're
the art
sticking
form
with
and
it.
what you're trying to say, but also like we were saying earlier, doing the film thing, the people is a huge. That's the bonus. That's how you. The
Like
bonus
me and this guy right here, Borden. We it's 20 years now.
It's
Friendship.
depressing. I don't-
But I'm just saying, like, we go back so long, like, we understand each other. We know each other's moves before we move it, or whatever the case may be.
And on top of that, so the last thing we just shot, the experimental thing, with these two guys and what they know with cameras
And
and
Alan's
everything,
going
it is
along,
so beautiful to be able to just know talented,
So
and
beautiful,
obviously with you with the butler and everything
beautiful.
else. But just
Beautiful.
that was one of the things where we filmed it, and at the end of, because obviously I'm stressed whenever I do something that I want to kind of do, whatever. But at the end of it, that one, it was joy, like during it and at the end, because we did this for so long that we know.
It's
Exactly
funny because when you
what
go
the fuck
on
we're doing.
one of your rants and you switch sentence to sentence to sentence from thought to thought to thought.
Oh, nope.
Oh.
Hey,
We know what you're talking about. You're like, I want it up, and we're like, gotcha.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
we
the
could
best thing is
decode
having that footage to hear it and seeing it.
That's the best part where we laugh and laugh and laugh.
Well, first of all, he's talking about the experimental he was just doing. We just finished up, and he's talking about how everybody exceeded his actual expectations from what he was originally describing to everybody. So, with that said, we're going to wrap this up. I hope it was a little educational for you. Hope you got to know us a little bit. We'll probably do some more chat about this kind of stuff down the road, too. So, stay tuned. Come back next time on PottyCast.
All right, I'm rolling.
Go ahead.
Good?
Yep.
All right, so you guys don't need all.
I don't mind. All right, I'm going. Rolling. Rolling.
Good.
I'm rolling.
Do a little Sharon Stone.
Who am I talking to? I'm talking to her, right?
The cockerel.
Sort of like a cock ring, but
Cock ringworm.
Except it requires one more doctor's visit and some more.
in veils and drowned in tears.
Brown chicken.
Just go nuts.
Did you like, the lower or higher?
Start low and then like
Work way up.
yeah, and then like everybody.
All the way to Humphreys or all?
No, very English, right? Everybody like very yes. Like I know I shouldn't, but I'm laughing anyway.
Crumpets.
And other than that, imagination, right? It's like romper room, but with acid.
How much you want?
What you want?
I'm not asking you.
Hey, bishops are by rooks.
Ready, rolling?
What? I don't know what where we starting.
Same place as last time, I guess.
The truth.
My battery's almost dead, by the way.
Okay.
Rolling, action.
Woo! We're gonna cut there because that was
We are ready.
cut, and that felt wonderful.